Most of our existing enterprise architecture frameworks focus on new build or perhaps an update of something. But what about the other end of the life cycle? If we're designing something, if we're building the architecture for something, surely it should cover the whole of the life cycle, from new build to decommission. Yet the decommission part just isn't covered at all in most of the enterprise architecture frameworks that I've seen. Why not? Because designing for what happens at the end needs to be thought about in depth right at the beginning to make the decommissioning easier. One of the traps here is that decommissioning is so easy for data. There isn't really a decommission, we just turn it off or delete the file, it's gone. But for almost anything else, a printer, a phone, it's non-trivial. When you take it all the way up to something like a nuclear submarine, it's not trivial at all. We need to be thinking about it right from the beginning so that we're designing for decommission, we're designing for recycling, we're designing for dismantling, we're designing for reuse. This needs to be part of our architecture right from the start, thinking about the life cycle as a whole and about the adaptations. There's also an ethics issue here about the ethics of decommissioning, because if we can't decommissioning it, we probably shouldn't build it. Increasingly, if we can't recycle it, we probably shouldn't build it. And also, if we can't think about how we're going to decommission something, we can build up huge problems for ourselves over time. A simple example is space junk. When you launch up a single launcher with 1,000 mini satellites in it, what are you going to do when their orbits don't decay? You're going to make it impossible or very dangerous to launch anything else eventually because the risks gets to be so high. So we need to be designing for decommissioning as part of the architecture right from the start.